Hello, everybody. Welcome back to. I think this is week 4. Maybe it's the beginning of week 5. I don't know. Third episode, but we're moving. We're moving on to like week 5 of. Just it's kind of a. It started as a workout thing. It's kind of a check-in thing. Last time I talked about some non-workout related things, but it's for the most part designed to keep people enthusiastic and hold people accountable for all the exercise and stuff that they said that they were going to do when I made that first video.
Tell a Nazi joke. Aren't you the Nazi joke guy?
Did you hear the one about Hitler?
No, who's she?
He's got bad gas. Did you? Because of the chambers.
No, you don't want to get stuck on a train to Auschwitz with him.
If this was one of those more traditional vlogs or whatever, that would be where it like hard cut to the next scene. But I'm not going to do that because I'm too lazy. But yeah, so like basically this was the idea of this was to kind of follow my fitness expectations and just kind of process. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I'm not trying to become an Arnold Schwarzenegger or World's Strongest Man or anything like that. There was just a period towards the end of 2015 where I kind of dicked off about it, and now I want to get back into it and try and get to where I was around November and feel good and feel strong and just see where I can push it because it's a passion of mine, and I figured why not see if other people wanted to join along with me. It's something that's come up a lot, and people are always saying, yeah, post what you know and stuff. Again, I'm not an expert about any of these things. It's just kind of something I've been doing for a really long time. So there could be someone who isn't an expert in building model trains, but he does it a lot, and so he knows a lot about model trains. That's kind of where I'm at. I didn't go to school for model train building, but I go to the gym a lot, and I learn things, and I'm happy to field questions that you guys have, and also the whole association of gaming and not being fit and not exercising and staying inside, like that doesn't have to be the case. There's so many similarities between progress in gaming and achievement points and RPGs and so many things that I've just crossed over back into exercise, and it just makes it so much easier to do. It's really not two separate worlds, and it doesn't have to be. What's up?
If you're in better shape and you're healthier, then you can live longer and play more games.
That's true. More time to play games over the long run. Short-term investment, you're probably going to have to play a little less games because you have to go exercise.
You'll still be alive when Half-Life 5 comes out.
There's no Half-Life 5.
That's the Half-Life joke.
So, first things first, I just want to thank everyone because the comments are remarkably fantastic. So positive. The first video I put up, I was like, I'm going to watch these comments, I'm going to get in here because I don't want people to have questions and not get them answered, so I'm going to try and answer them as best as I can, and the rate that I can put out these videos isn't going to be enough to keep up with it. But there are people in the comments who are answering the questions better than I possibly could, with more information and sources and links and stuff like that, and it's awesome. It's really, really cool. That's the same for like on Reddit. Reddit comments are really awesome about this video and really productive, and I couldn't have possibly dreamed of it. I know there's an awesome Funhouse community out there, and most of the people that watch the videos that Elise and I make are not shitheads, so I guess I should have expected it, but just the knowledge base out there is just fantastic. And it's another thing, too. When I started, I did not have internet with Reddit and YouTube to figure out the best way to squat or the best way to get strong or the best diet to have and stuff like that. You just kind of tried to figure it out. But now there's so many resources out there that you guys have to use it. You have to use it.
Bro, get to your gains.
What? Oh, so anyway, on to the gains. No, before that, that's not how it goes. I got to talk about where I'm at. The big thing where I'm at, is last week. The week before wasn't so bad. Last week sucked. We were moving the office at work. That means no lunch break. That means and then on top of that, we had a half day Wednesday, and then we were in Austin Thursday and Friday. So travel combined with no routine happening, it can just potentially destroy any of the exercise progress you've made. It's so easy to make an excuse. I made several excuses. There was a point on Tuesday night where it was like 10 o'clock, and Elise said, "Go to the gym. Don't you want to go to the gym?" And I said, "I do, but I haven't packed yet." are you going to go to the gym? And she says, no, I don't think I'm going to go to the gym.
I was going to stay home with Benson.
She was going to stay home with Benson, who was going to be alone for the end of the week. And then that kind of thing, it's a bump in the road, and that's all it really needs.
Did you pack? Did you pack that night?
No, I didn't pack. I packed some.
No, you didn't.
I packed some.
That's a lie.
Anyway, it was an excuse, and that's what happens. You use these excuses to not go to the gym. But I will say this. What happened Wednesday after we got to the hotel? What did I do?
I got a cheeseburger.
Elise ordered a cheeseburger, but I went to the gym. This is something that I've gotten. There's been a lot of traveling happening, and this is some routine that I've gotten into, is that I check the hotel to see if they're going to have a gym, and then I try and use it. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself, you sit on a plane for several hours, and then you get to a hotel, and you're in a strange room with a bed that it may be comfortable, but it doesn't feel right, and you're kind of worked up. We moved 2 hours forward in time, so it was 12-something, but that's not really late. That felt like 10 o'clock or whatever. I wasn't tired, so I went to the gym. And I exercised a little bit. It's completely empty, and then afterwards I took a shower, and I felt a lot better. I think that's good. I think that's a good mentality to have. And you don't have to do much. I wasn't trying to make gains or anything in the gym. I was just trying to exercise, just move myself around, work around, carry weights back and forth across the gym. It was nice. But that was a good moment. The rest of the week, though, was crap. It was real bad, and I'm trying to get back into it. We went to the gym today, and then hopefully can keep things going pretty consistently for the next several weeks. There's no travel coming, so it should be good. I think we can do a lot in March. March is the month that is happening. But regardless of that, there's been some plateauing in other exercises that I've been doing. I think this is probably related to nutrition. I'm not really eating a ton. I'm not stuffing my face. That's in line with my goals, and that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. There are other areas where I'm still getting stronger. And my back pain is pretty much gone. It felt kind of bad on the plane, but that's just because you're sitting there and you're stuck in this position, and I think it's this thing where it's just locked into this position, I get sore. But I'd rather be in a situation where if you're not exercising, you feel worse than if you are exercising and you feel bad. It used to be the kind of thing I would have pains in my body. I'm not bashing on CrossFit, but when I did CrossFit style exercise for a really long time, I would just be injured, and it would get worse, and I would have to stop exercising to heal to get back into it again, and that's not really that sustainable for me. But other than that, went for a hike yesterday. Took Benson for a hike. Benson is joining the team. Elise is already on the team, the exercise team. Benson is joining the team. He's going to try and lose some weight because he needs to, and he's a fat boy. I had to pull a tick off him the other day at the hike, but in hindsight, I probably should have left him on because he could have sucked some weight off his ass.
If you guys have seen the Benson bath video, you'll note that it was a little bit tough for Benson to get in that tub.
He's heavier than he looks too. So Benson's in on it. We're going to try and exercise with Benson. Hiking is an awesome substitute for going to the gym if that's what you decide to do. And yeah. So let's just talk about, now we're up to speed. Let's talk about where we're at. Elise, where are you at?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe at some other time I'll do a video about myself, because my workout history and experience is very different than you, and what I do and what I strive for is very different than you. So I think that maybe needs to be its own thing.
Okay. So we'll wait on that. But for me, back in the gym today, doing the same thing. When I go to a gym, are you sliding out of the frame? When I go to a gym, I'm trying to do weights. I'm trying to move heavy weights. I'm trying to do major groups, squats, bench press, overhead press, deadlifts, large back pulling movements. I want to just be as efficient as possible, because I'll do a whole nother video about efficiency, but efficiency is one of the best things you can mix into your routine, because it makes you spend less time there. You're not sponsored by Muscle Milk. You don't have to be in the gym for 4 hours a day doing all this stuff. If this is your life and it's not your career, think efficiently. Don't kill yourself to get to a certain point, because there's only so much you're going to be able to do unless you're pumping yourself full of steroids and testosterone, which I don't recommend. But I work for efficiency. I went back in, did some squats, still getting stronger. Again, I think I'm just working back up to kind of where I was in November. So there's a certain base level of strength. It's like a ball, and then you fall down in the ball, but then you can push it back up. But then at a certain point, you're gonna reach a plateau, which we'll talk about more some other time. You're gonna reach a plateau, and then you have to work extra hard to push that plateau higher. But the good thing is every single inch that you push the plateau higher, that makes it easier to reach back up there should you take a couple weeks off, take a month off, something happens. I think of it as like muscle experience. Once you've gotten to a certain point with your muscles, they've broken through that. And then no matter what you do, you can still work back up to that strength, and it won't nearly be as difficult as it was to get there the first time. So I think that's currently where I am now, and that's good. I'm perfectly happy with that. My deadlifts are going up. My deadlifts are getting stronger. That was, for the longest time, my strongest lift. It still is my strongest lift, but it's a good indicator for where the strength is in the rest of my body. If I'm getting stronger in the deadlift, it means that I'm working my legs consistently enough. My core is maintaining strength with everything else. Even my grip strength. Like, if I'm able to hold that weight for the amount of reps that I want to do it, it's a pretty good indicator that I'm moving consistently as a unit up, and that's, I think, what you want. You don't want to focus too much in one area. So things are going really good, but what I really want to talk about was cardio, because cardio sucks. I hate cardio, and I touched on it in the last video, but I kind of figured out what works for me with cardio. I'm not a runner. I'm not good at running. I don't like running. I don't like running long distances. Elise has been doing, you've been doing, how far have your runs been?
Anywhere from a mile to 3.
Anywhere between a mile and 3 miles, and the thought of that makes me want to kill myself. I just get really bored. If it's on a bike and it's outside and it's like we're going and we're exploring somewhere, that's a completely different story. But if it's exercise, again, it's back to efficiency. And so I practice.
Sometimes I run and I'll listen to an audiobook, or I will listen to music.
Yeah. Even that, though, I get bored. Just sitting there listening. But if you are into that, and everyone has their own individual way of doing things. So if you're more of an Elise, then make sure you have Audible ready to go, or something, an audio book or a podcast or something ready to listen to. This video is not sponsored by Audible, just so you know. But what I do is I do HIIT training. That's HIIT, high intensity interval training. I guess HIIT training is redundant, but it's like an ATM machine. But I do HIIT, and this is high intensity, first part, which means that you're just trying to work yourself as hard as you can, and you do it in cycles. So I'll just walk you through kind of what I do. The first thing that I do, and I'll do this maybe twice a week, depending on how many times I do HIIT. I call it cycles, and it's actually easier to do on a stationary bike that you can adjust the resistance on. But what I'll do is I'll bike for a minute. Just not real easy, but you're pedaling, you're sitting there, you're pedaling. You could do this for half an hour. You could do it for 45 minutes at this pace. You do it, and then at the minute mark, you bump it up. So that way you are standing on the bike, you're pushing it as hard as you can. Think of it as like the steepest hill you could possibly climb. You're not supposed to be going fast at all. You're supposed to be pumping your legs. Each pump is supposed to feel like a pretty exhaustive one-legged squat. You're trying to really, really push it. And you do that for 30 seconds. And then that's it. Once you do 30 seconds, you go back down to that initial resistance, and then you pedal it out for another minute, and then back up 30 seconds, down for a minute, back up 30 seconds. And this whole kind of format is the basis for HIIT. It's about cycles and intervals at a high intensity. A lot of people think of cardio as like just kind of going and just kind of running, but if you really want to work your heart, you can do that really fast. Your heart is a muscle, and it's not that different from your pecs or your biceps. Like, you can do 8 really heavy reps of something, a bicep curl, and then your bicep can be sore, and it can be tired, and can grow, and it can get stronger. And I think that same mentality can be applied to your heart. Your whole cardiovascular health is much more complex than that. And there's huge benefits to being able to have greater endurance. Though I have seen that for me personally, during endurance tests, while just training with HIIT, I'm better than if I did without, and I'm not too far off than when I specifically trained for that endurance test. My endurance tests are generally something like a 5K run or things like that. I don't really do it that consistently. The hike is a good test of it because, the hike was tiring, but there's no point where I was like, I need to stop. I'm dying here. And considering that most of my cardiovascular workouts are around 10 minutes long, that's generally how long it goes. So if we're considering the bicycle a minute, 30 seconds, a minute, 30 seconds, you end up doing about 6 cycles before you hit 10 minutes, and then you're done. And that's it. And that's cardio. That's my cardio for that day. I may do it some more times that week, but that's it for that day. And then afterwards, I'll go and I'll follow it up with some weight training or some light accessory work, things like that. Nothing huge. I never do like a hit session and then back squats or bench press or something really, really intense. Deadlifts never. But I will do that, and then I'll do something lighter, something with more reps, something easier afterwards. Few other examples is the same process works with sprinting. You can do this outside on a track is awesome. I don't have access to a track, so I do it on a treadmill, and it works kind of okay. But basically, you do a walking pace. So maybe the best way to intensify this is to change the elevation of the treadmill. Start with something really conservative, and then slowly over time you can build it up. But a walking speed, do a minute, and then sprint. Sprint as fast as you can for 30 seconds. Depending on how fast you're going, how hard you're pushing yourself, you may not be 30 seconds, could be less. But try for like 30 seconds, and then come back down and relax for another minute, maybe minute 15, then 30 seconds again. Repeat it. Try and do 6. Try and do 6 of those, and you'll be thoroughly surprised with how much it kicks your ass. Then the other thing, this is another one that I've just kind of innovated. This isn't technically HIIT, but do a mile run, but do it as fast as you can. This works really good on a treadmill because it means that once you do your mile run, the next time come back and do it 0.1 more speed the next time.
But take walking breaks if you need to.
Well, yeah, to get to that first mile, but the goal is you want to do a mile as fast as you can, whatever that is. And then the next time, try and do it faster. And then the next time, try and do it faster. And every single next time, try and do it faster. And here's my thinking. 1, it's cool to run a mile really fast. Makes you feel good, makes you feel like a superhero. But the best thing is, every single next time you do it, that's less time you have to spend doing cardio. And it's a weird mentality, but like I will write it down in my notebook and I'll say, this is how long I ran this time. This is how long it took me. And it'll be 3 seconds less than it was last time. And then it'll be 10 seconds less than it was last time. And then by the end of it, the whole process of doing this mile run will take me, 6 minutes or something. And then it's done. And that's pretty liberating. And it goes back to the whole efficiency talk, just making it as fast as possible. Other examples you can do this with, stair climbers are great ways where you go really, really fast for 45 seconds and then you slow it back down for a minute. Rowing is fantastic for this. Super intense rowing for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and then slow it down for a minute. All of this is at your own pace, but it's HIIT. That's what you should, if you're interested, you should look more into it because there's a wealth of knowledge about it. It's really popular and it works for me. It works for me not just from a mental standpoint, but HIIT is what I was doing when I probably lost about 10 pounds and got into basically the best shape of my life. And I plan on using it right now because it's fun. It feels more like a bench press, or it feels more like an exercise test. And for me, and going back to that whole video game achievement mentality, that's kind of what I'm looking for. So that's cardio for me in a nutshell. And I think if you hate cardio, you should look into this because it doesn't take very long. It's not monotonous. You're never doing it long enough to get bored, I don't think. And you'll feel really tired. it works if you're just trying to feel tired. That being said, do not ignore the entire benefits of cardiovascular fitness and exercise. There's a whole wealth there, and you don't want to just put yourself into a corner and limit yourself. So make sure that you're kind of taking care of your body in its entirety. But for me going forward, just some final thoughts. I'm going to keep trying to... The workout on my lunch has been the hardest part. We've been a lot of variables, moving the office and stuff like that has just made it kind of difficult to do, but we really try and do it. Elise's probably going to join me. Elise says she's probably going to join me on those lunch break exercise sessions.
way.
She's shaking her head. She's saying no. I'm going to try and increase the frequency of those alongside HIIT. And then I'm going to work towards my strength limits. Like I said, like a big bubble, and you're trying to work to the top of the bubble before you can push it higher and then move inside the bubble some more.
Tell them all for a video, and I'll tell them how really.
Elise said she's going to do her exercise video soon, and she's going to give you the real skinny, the real skinny on how to get things going. And then on top of that, just keep my diet in check. Try and I use the term diet to describe nutrition as a whole. I'm not really starving myself. I don't think you should. I think there's easier ways to do it. Slow weight loss over time, eating good food, eating healthy food, not eating necessarily out all the time and trying to make something at home, or they make all the difference in the world. Still doing space food. Still doing it 2 meals a day, and I like it. But yeah, that's it for me. They always go so damn long. How do I talk for so long? Why do you sit through this all the time? You sit through me just talking and
Yeah, I
talking?
just hear you chirping over there.
She just hears me chirping. So that's it for me. Thank you guys for all your comments and your help, and I hope you guys are gaining something from this. I hope most of you are still tweeting at me when you're going to exercise. That's awesome. Please do it. Please keep with it. Right now, you should have gotten past that 3-week period where you're supposed to blot yourself out 5 or 6 weeks to do something consistently. So keep at it if you're doing it. I hope you guys are making progress. I hope you haven't looked back at that first picture you're supposed to take of yourself before you started making progress. And share the information that you guys have learned. That's the best way to do it. It's easy. It's not easy, but it is easy. That doesn't make any sense. But what can you do? Thank you guys for watching, and more stuff coming to the channel. Gameplays have started coming back up again. Psychonauts is going to come back up. We're going to keep streaming, and we have some other fun stuff we want to show you guys. What is it? Our Boring Lives? More videos like Benson trying to take a bath. The next one is going to be Elise trying to take a bath. So look out for that one.
That's a trick. I don't take baths.